Okay, welcome back, guys. For this video, I'm gonna go over the post-dragon Everfall. Now, just a warning right here, before we go into this, if you haven't beaten the dragon yet in the main game, and you don't want any spoilers, don't watch the rest of this video. This is gonna be spoiler heavy, there's no way to avoid them when I'm talking about this stuff. So check out one of my other videos, play through the game a little bit more, but if you don't want any spoilers, fortunately the rest of this video is not for you yet. Now, if you have killed the dragon already, and you have entered post-game, you will have realized that the Everfall has opened up significantly. Now, while this can seem daunting at first, it's actually a really simple mechanic. They just added more levels to the game, essentially. I'm going to go over some tips and tricks for the Everfall and a little bit of details in it. But as you can see, basically the Everfall just opens up right in the middle of the city. Now my game might look a little different than yours. As you can see, my skies are clear. Now, the reason for this is I actually did the clear skies glitch this playthrough, where you can basically avoid the murky green, sickly colored sky by exploiting this little glitch. Now, this doesn't do anything other than cosmetic change and make it a little bit brighter. If you're interested in this, check out my video. I have a video on how to do it. But other than that, we're just going to ignore it because it changes nothing about the Everfall. Now, the first thing about the Everfall is, like I said, it seems really daunting, but it's not really that bad. So there are 16 different floors. The one floor is the first area up top. The other 15 are actual rooms you can go into that have enemies in it. The first time you enter the Everfall, you will only be able to enter one chamber. It's a chamber of confusion. No matter which one you enter in, that is where you shall end up. Now, you can use the grab button to get this animation. Take no damage, you're falling through. If you don't want to watch the animation or don't have time, if you flat down on one of the most damage you're going to take is 200. That's it, max. Fall damage is very little in here. But the way this place works is there's all these different levels. You land on them and you can jump from one to another. So, for example, I can jump from this one, then I can go over here and land on this one. And each of these leads to a different chamber. If you're looking for a specific gear or anything like that, I recommend looking online. Every chamber has different enemies, different gear. This dungeon, the Everfall, was where the best loot was found before Bitter Black Isle. This was where all the greatest gear was. This is where you would find the best stuff. And a lot of it had a really low drop rate, which is why they're nice enough to give you the God's Bane blade. You beat the game, you already know what really this is for, but I won't get into that. So, you can take this out and you can just stab yourself right in the heart of it. It kills you. Now, you might be thinking, why do I want an item to kill myself with? Well, the reason is because the trick is to save right before a chest. Open it up. Don't get what you want, pull out the blade, kill yourself, reload. Quickest way to farm chests, and will save you a lot of headache here in the Everfall, and even in Bitter Black Isle and other places. Also, while we're on the subject of loot, Bitter Black Isle, like I said, has really low drop rates, but there is a way to help you out a little bit. There are 3 dragon tiers, essentially, that you can get, that each one will increase the drop rate of rare items in the Everfall from chests, and will increase the drop rate of wake stones and such from enemies. So that's actually your goal in the Everfall, is to get 20 wake stones, which is quite easy to do, especially if you go tackle the Ur Dragon, which I'll get to in a minute. But first, let's talk about these tiers. So there's one for the Drake, one for the Wyvern, and one for the Worm. Of course, you get them from the respective dragons. In post-game, there are a lot more dragons on field. Before you beat the dragon and you enter the post-game, there's only one over here in Devilfire Grove, and that's a Drake. He's still here in post-game. However, there are also a couple more. There is another Drake that you can encounter over here. There is a Wyvern you can encounter up here. I believe there's a Worm somewhere. I can't remember where he is. Give me. I didn't bother to look it up. I don't know why. But there are 3 unique dragons as well. These are the ones I'm actually going to talk about. So they're unique as in they have unique dialogue. They're a little bit different, and they seem to be a little bit stronger, not much. but they also take longer to respawn as well. 21 in-game days, I believe. Now, the reason I mention these is because I believe that these have a much higher drop rate for the tiers. It might have just been my luck, but my friend did it too, and it seemed to work out for him. The first time I killed each of these unique dragons, I got the tier from them. Same thing worked out for him, so either we're both really lucky or they actually have a higher rate. The first one is in Conqueror's Sanctuary. That is a unique Drake. This one's actually kind of cool because he doesn't talk in worm speak, which I believe is just Latin. He actually talks in, for me, it's English, and I believe for anyone else it'll be their system's language as well. So it's pretty cool to hear him talk. The next one is in the Water God's Altar, where the Cyclops is fought. You'll find a unique worm. And you can fight him there. The last one is the unique Wyvern, which is found over on Blue Moon Tower, where you fight the Griffin for the final time and Salamet in the main campaign. You head over here. It's kind of a trek, so hopefully you have a port crystal already set up. But those are where the 3 unique dragons are, and you can get the tiers from any dragon, but I find these ones the easiest. Especially because the Wyvern that's over here tends to glitch and like to fly away, and he's really annoying. And I don't know where the other worm is, so obviously I never go for that one. But other than that, there's only a few other changes. The post game, the trail between Cassius and Grand Sword will change. There'll be other enemies, and of course the Everfall opens up. Now, once you have these tiers and you're on your farming way, that's really the most there is to the Everfall. However, there is one other unique thing that the Everfall brings to the game. This one right here, the Chamber of Lament. I believe it'll come up Chamber of Confusion for me because I haven't gone in yet. But this small section here is how you get to the Ur-Dragon. It is if you haven't fought the Ur-Dragon yet, I'll give you a little information on it. Basically, there's 2 types of Ur-Dragon. There's the offline version, which is just a standard enemy. However, he's basically takes the form of the dragon, but he has like 20-something hearts on him. You have to destroy each one individually, and once you destroy the final one, he dies. Offline Ur-Dragon is great for farming loot. You kill him, you get 20 wake stones, a lot of gear. He is challenging. So if you're just first time in the Everfall, he's probably going to give you a good run for your money. But he's definitely worth it. There's a way to farm him after you beat the main game. You can go through Rift Crystal and Cassius at any time. But your first trip to the Everfall, this is the only place you can find him. Now, there's also a online Ur-Dragon. Now, this thing is a unique creature. There's a lot of different guys and strategies out there to fight with him. You can look those up. I'm not going to go too deep into the strategies because I'd have to do a different one for each class. But basically, this is like an online server enemy. You go in, you do damage. Your dragon flies away after 10 minutes, by the way. He's only there for 10 minutes. The offline version, you have 10 minutes to kill him. If he doesn't die, he comes back with the same amount of health. So if you take 3 of his health bars and before he leaves, he comes back with 3 away from max. He comes back with whatever you left off at. The online Ur-Dragon is a server base that follows the same rules, but all Dragon's Dogma players are trying to kill it at once. There are probably, people speculate, 4 or so servers, but for eventually every 30 minutes they sync up. So basically you have hundreds of thousands of players trying to kill this dragon, and it takes them a while. But when a player finally kills the dragon, it enters Grace, and then allows every player to basically take a crack at it while it's low health and try and get the kill. It's actually really cool to do. I've done it a few times. I would do it more, but it's really hard to keep track. There's a lot of forums, though. There's Reddit posts if you want to try and keep track of when he's going down. I recommend checking those out. But that is one of the biggest things for the Everfall is the Ur-Dragon. Other than that, it's just a basic dungeon. You're going to go through each level, and you're going to fight whatever comes your way. So, for the most part, nothing different than the main game. Like I said, it really looks daunting, but it's not really that bad. You can exit the Everfall at any time by landing on that first spot that I jumped down and walking up through, or you can just fairy stone out like I do. I have the Eternal Fairy Stone, and I don't have any reason to worry about it. But other than that, I always recommend to do this video to give you some tips on the Everfall. One other thing I forgot is all the main bosses in the Everfall respawn after 3 days or so. The only exception is the Ur Dragon. You leave the Everfall and come back, the Ur Dragon will show up again. You have to leave the Everfall for that to happen, though. So the enemy bosses respawn after 3 days. Regular enemies, I don't know, I think they spawn almost immediately, if not 3 days as well for them. Most things will reset. But if you're looking for loot, look up online. There's plenty of guides and stuff like that. There's 16 floors in all and 15 chambers. With the 16th floor being this one where there's only the exit. So I hope that helped a couple people out. Hope that gave you some information on the Everfall. Maybe you didn't know about the Drake tiers or didn't understand how the Ur Dragon works. But I hope that helped you guys out. Also, if you ever want to fight the Ur Dragon offline, just change your connectivity and settings. Easiest way to do it. Hope you guys liked this video. If you feel I missed anything or thought you might want to add some, go ahead and leave a comment down below. If you liked the video, give me a like, maybe even subscribe, or check out one of my other videos. I got a good information out there on other things like Bitter Black Isle for the Dark Arisen players. I got stuff on just general tips and tricks on inclinations and stuff like that. You check out those videos if you want. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. So that's all I got for the Everfall. Have a good one, guys.